This one is yours. Would you like to do the honors of the pouring? Here is the bottle opener. The next mystery beer is provided by Missy.
Dude, so we had training, like a learn thing at work today. It was like sexual harassment discrimination training.
That's always good.
And I was like,
Did you learn what you're doing wrong?
which I swear to God, we just had this. So I'm like thinking that somebody got in trouble for sexual harassment.
Probably.
Like they had to like double up on it or whatever. But like I was going through, and it's like you can't discriminate against race and like ethnicity, age. I can't remember. There was like a whole list of things, and I was like, wait, but we can still fat shame people. Because I'm pretty sure
leave that out.
I'm pretty sure that like fat people wasn't on there, and now I'm trying to find all the things that I can discriminate on.
So that way you'd be made the example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait. If you know all about sexual harassment, and since Blake's right next to me, would you let me know if I accidentally start sexually harassing Blake and his beautiful eyes?
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be an accident.
I think Ron would intentionally be sexually harassing him.
So, how you doing, Blake? What's going on? That's not sexual harassment yet. That's just regular harassment.
Yeah.
Alright, do we have a towel?
We do, but not with us.
Oh, sweet. Because I made a mess. I was a slob.
What other ways can I not sexually harass Break?
Break?
Break.
Right.
Break.
I don't know. For a minute there, I almost forgot what I brought.
I got a wash rag.
So I
Ariana's the
Okay.
rag. No, the rag's on Ariana.
I can taste everything that's in it that I know that's in it. So I had I almost brought.
So is it another bourbon?
Yeah, I think it is. So
It has a weird smell to it.
I almost brought a beer, which I'll be bringing it the next time.
It's smoked.
Yeah, it
It's
smells
not.
smoke.
It's not smoked, I don't think. I don't remember that
It
being
doesn't taste like it, I guess.
Tastes peanutty. Am I tasting peanuts?
Is it a
Nah, I
bourbon?
don't think it's a bourbon barrel.
Is there peppers in it?
Yeah, it is. It has that. That's why.
Good call.
Because that was one I was thinking about bringing to our like our brew day that we're gonna do. But like, if there's gonna be like 10 people there, I wanted to get enough of a taste of this because I wanted to really be able to taste it because it's
Did
got
you put a picture of it on Facebook?
no, not on this one.
Is it like a jalapeno? Or
That's I think that it's not the main flavor. It says peppers, but it doesn't specify what kind. No, but
This is good.
I picked this one because I was like, I could have waited until later, but I'm like, I just want to see what somebody who I've not talked too much on beer, thinks about multiple flavors, like this kind of a depth of a flavor.
Is it like a peppery coffee kind of
This
thing?
one is
It does have
definitely
coffee.
okay.
It does have coffee to it?
Yes.
It does. That's what yeah.
Getting like a pepper coffee, that's an interesting combo.
Mhm.
Spicy coffee?
So I had the one that I was thinking about bringing though was like I can't remember who it was by or exactly what it was called, but it was Ford. It was basically everything about it was Ford, and I was like, hey, there's gonna be 4 of us. I could bring this, but I did not do that this time.
So a peppery
I
coffee.
had to go with the pepper.
Pepper coffee?
Pepper coffee, bourbon barrel. I forget what else is in it. It's very. I feel like
there's like another taste
There
to it
is,
that I
I
can't
can't-
place.
I can't remember what all.
If you'd have told me pepper and coffee flavors would go together, I'd have told you were nuts, but this is
Right.
pretty damn good.
Haven't we done a pepper and coffee before?
We've
It
done
was the
pepper.
Jackios that I
Or was
brought.
it-
It was bourbon barrel, coffee, chocolate, and pepper. That was the Jackios that I brought.
What are you getting out of it?
yeah, the pepper, chocolate.
So like the
Good little coffee.
I can't remember what all's in it. I brought it because of the pepper. Because I was talking about a pepper beer to Matt the other day, and he's like, I would hate that. I like the pepper. But some of them are pretty good. Some of them.
We've
I
had
don't think I've had one that I don't like.
we've had there was one or two we had that were actually not just pepper taste, but like burn your mouth hot pepper.
I like that.
Was
like that sneaks up on you.
what was that? One of the Twitchies we got from
The surprise is like it has some burpees in it because it's burning. I love it.
one of the Twitchies we got from whatchamacallit. Oh crap. Yeah, ADD and old man brain here. That place in Akron we went to. Shit.
Arshay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he even knows he wasn't there.
Yes.
Oh, he's talked about Arshay with me.
Arshay, and they had like a spicy Twitchy when we went there in the fall, and they had a chili made out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spicy pepper one, but this is not a spicy pepper one.
I feel like the only pepper one that I've ever had that I did not like, and I don't know where I was. I was in Cincinnati. And this was like a handful of years ago, I was watching It was like their Christmas thing, like the lighting of the tree, and which is really cool. I think I talked about it like a while ago on our old.
Is that when they
podcast.
had like people like climbing up buildings or
Like
falling off the buildings?
the Santas rappelling off the side of the building. It was like super cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't remember what brewery was right there in the square, but I walked in there and I went to try it, and it was like this. It fucking tasted like pepperoni liquid, like straight. It was way
Just the peppercini
Yeah,
is
like-
off the tables at Skyline.
yeah, like that. It was
Like current wieners? Yeah.
Ah,
Wait,
yes.
is that the current? No, that's steak
That
and
was
shake.
no, it was the
Steak and shake Kermit
it
Kermit
was,
Wieners, yeah.
It was.
Tastes like steak and shake Kermit Wieners. Do you know what we're talking about?
No, back in the day
Ba-
at Steak and Shake, they used to have bottles of like these little small pepperoni peppers,
Oh,
and
no,
people would
okay.
use like the liquid
The-
from it,
the
like,
little
they
pepper
would put
sauce
it on
they-
their spot 5 ways, 3 ways, their chili and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it used
that's
to look like little tiny Kermit penises.
Oh.
it tastes. I forgot about that, but it tasted exactly like that liquid, but only with carbonation in it. And I was like,
you have me to remind you.
it is. It's totally good.
Man, you're giving me flashbacks to a story about a time back in high school with fucking Paris.
Yes, but no, I had
I wonder if he listens to us.
No, probably not. But we should make him.
We should.
Give him a special mention. But no, that particular beer, when I tried it that day, like it's the pepperoni beer, that was the only pepper beer that I did not like. The only thing that it would be good for beer cheese or like a pizza dough crust or something.
So
like
a
that.
beer that you're gonna make
I'm
something
gonna make
with.
beer cheese one of these days. Beer cheese and pretzels.
It's
I'm
really
in.
Cool. I've made it before and I made it way too thin, so I turned it into beer cheese soup.
Hell
It
yeah.
was good.
So my little dumb story that they gave me a flashback about.
There you go.
Back in the day in high school, we used to go to like Rocky Horror Picture Show all the damn time, like every fucking Saturday
So
night.
much fun.
And this dude Missy was dating back in the day by the name of Keith. He was kind of a jerk ass, but we hung out with this guy named Paris Paris is still on my Facebook today. Hi Paris, how you doing? If you listen to this, haha, I'm memory shit. But like we went to a Steak and Shake after a Rocky because we were all like just fucking fiending for food, and he went off to the bathroom. Well, her boyfriend was being the big jackass dick he was, like took the bottle of Kermit Peckers, just dumped the entire bottle's worth of liquid into the dude's drink. Do you remember that now?
So I was thinking he went into the bathroom and dumped it on him. I think he
No,
dumped some of it, a lot of it, into his drink. And I feel like he followed him into the bathroom. Maybe it wasn't the pepper juice, but it was actually he threw mayonnaise on him.
This sounds very familiar.
I just
I
remember
don't know if
that.
you were there, but
I
if
just
you
remember
weren't,
that
I
Paris,
heard the
like,
story.
I don't know if Paris was like trying to do that thing where you get bullied and you're like, I'm not being bullied, and you just power through it or what. But he just sat there sipping on that Coke like it tasted perfectly normal. Nothing was wrong with it, even though it was probably like 75% pepper juice.
I don't think
And you guys
it was
probably
really
roofed
strong.
him, or-
I don't. That would be funny. I don't think it was. I mean, I think it was really strong, but I don't think it was 75% pepper juice. It was a lot, but it was. I mean,
Somewhere Paris is he's gonna catch wind of this episode because he is on my Facebook
he's
still.
gonna go to your house and shoot you.
Probably. Hi Paris. Or he's really like those.
Ron lives at.
It's all right. Don't forget to show up there.
Oh, just send me a message, Paris. We'll hang out. We'll get a beer. You can kick my ass and threaten to shoot me then.
There you go. Sounds
Just
like a
good,
deal.
good repressed memories. Totally.
So
Isn't that weird how that
Your
works?
ghost might defend you.
there you go.
They might.
Yeah.
My ghosts might defend me, or they'll be like, "Hey, look, another one." Non-rent paying bastards.
So
That's the biggest problem with the haunted house.
Right. They don't pay rent. Are we ready to find out what exactly I brought?
Yes.
I don't remember all the flavors in it. It is. So I found this at the liquor store there in
Oh.
Richmond. Prairie Artisan Ale. I don't think we've had
I
any.
thought they only did sours for some reason
Yeah.
because every time I've had them, we've had
I
two
was
of them
gonna.
and
Okay,
they both did
I
sours.
couldn't remember cause it looked. The logo looked familiar, but I really couldn't remember. So this is Bomb. It is an imperial stout aged on coffee, cacao nibs, vanilla beans, and chili peppers. So there was. I mean, there's
got
like
the
a
vanilla.
right. You guys pretty much had it all. Each one of you got some stuff in it. And this says Spaceship Earth Coffee Company. Spaceship Earth Coffee. So I guess they did a collab with that particular coffee company. I've never heard of that coffee company. I guess I'll have to check them out now. I didn't look at that at the first. And that's really all it says on the bottle. I
What's the?
think. It's a 12%.
Okay. Yeah, it's heavy.
So, brewed and bottled by Krebs, that's not really anything. So there's nothing really about the stuff on there. It's just, that's literally it. But
So-
no, I got that because, you know, I feel like most of those, especially when they have a lot of stuff in it, and to be fair, does it say it's a bourbon barrel? I was like, I almost think maybe, it's an Imperial Stout, so it's not a bourbon barrel. It just tastes like a bourbon barrel.
So for those listening, the bottle itself has kind of I don't know what you call it. My brain wants to jump to like a freaking bubblegum wrapper from like the 70s, kind of like Bazooka Joe's colors and style maybe.
It kind of does.
Yeah, you got a lot of like pinks and blues in it and a lot of circles.
It's a bunch of bullseyes.
Bullseyes.
Even though it's called bomb.
And bomb looks like it's written in like bomb because this is the bomb kind of a style, but
When I first read it, I thought it said balmy.
That's good. That's a balmy.
you got any thoughts on the bottle?
Very cool. Very retro.
Yeah, that
Style.
retro style, that's a good way to put it.
Dude.
Nostalgia.
Alright.
So, what do we rate that one, kids?
I would give it,
It's about as good as I'd expect it to be.
I think a 4.5.
Yeah, I would go with 4. Like,
Yeah.
it was good. I
4?
don't-
4.
4.
I don't think it was missing anything, but I feel, I don't, like more pepper flavor maybe. I think that's a good beer for if somebody's
It was
wants to try a pepper beer but doesn't really want to waste a beer because it's so little pepper flavor that I don't think it would be really offensive to anybody.
if it had more, I think it was borderline like dry, like a dry wine almost. And I think if it would have had a little bit more pepper flavor, it would have been probably too dry. Does that make sense?
I can see that. I liked it. I can
there you
dig
go.
it.
Thank you, Ronald.
It was a good flavor.
So, you want to talk about that next pre-beer?
I was thinking about that.
All right.
So we can throw this in here. So the next one that Blake brought us, which it was really cool because he asked us if we were going to drink them on the podcast or how we wanted to do it. He's like, well, you guys invited me on a guest, and as a guest, I really appreciate it. So I brought these beers for you guys. And I was like, hell yeah, it was like really kick ass. So give Blake props to that. I really like that.
Blake is the shit.
That wasn't even anything that was asked of him. He just
You took a
did
chance
that.
on putting me on here, so.
All right. Well, you did that all on your own free will. We just said, bring a beer, and you said, oh, we can have all of these. So I like it. But so we had this beer by Livingston Company, and it's a passion fruit, mango, raspberry, vanilla, coconut, and marshmallow. So this is like one of those slushy beers. It doesn't say it on the can, but it just does say keep cold, drink fresh, don't age.
For those that follow us a lot, it was very like 450 North slushy style, if you know what.
Not very appetizing.
Yeah.
Um,
They always end up looking gross. They do a lot of times.
The flavor was excellent, but the presentation could have been better.
I don't think that nobody can master the presentation. That's why it's in a can.
Yeah.
You just kind of roll the can and maybe just drink it from the can.
The presentation, trying to be polite about it, but we were eating lasagna for dinner, and at one point I looked down at what I was drinking, and I looked down at like some of the sauce that was on my plate, and I looked at this, and I'm like, wait, which is the sauce, which is the beer for a second? Because it's got that kind of a lumpy, bumpy, red, cheesy sauce kind of look to it.
Yeah.
Flavor doesn't have that, but
Frozen Hydra. It's a sour basically, but it's it has all this fruit and it's got the marshmallow and coconut that kind of makes it a little bit less sour. I like it. I feel like those are good, but not necessarily my favorite.
What would you rate this?
I felt so like that. I would give it like a 3.5.
That's what I was thinking.
I agree.
I'll go a little higher. I liked it. I'll go with a 4.
The
flavor was good. Just, don't let yourself get hung up on the presentation because it looks like sloppy, clumpy barf.
Right. If anything that I have anything that I have that's thick like that, I almost prefer it to be chocolatey or like that kind of a dessert. To have a sour that's that thick, it's not necessarily bad, but I like the sours to be more thin and carbonated.
Mm-hmm.
I've found that with my.
I don't think we've had anything today that's been super carbonated, have we?
No.
No, nothing that explodes and makes a big mess all over the place.
Nothing that.
Not like that rabies beer.
I love rabies beer. I love it.
What was the one we had last week that just no matter what you were doing, it just kept like foaming over the edges?
Hubbard's Cave.
Yeah.
Those will do that.
Yeah, it just kept wanting to foam and foam till hell beat.
Like you barely poured it and it like foamed completely over.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a couple of home brews I did. Because I use like honey as my thing to make carbonation. And one time I put a little too much, and when I try to open the bottle, it went lots of places.
Bottle bomb.
How
Yeah.
were your beers? How did they taste?
They tasted fine. It's the carbonation that needed a little more work.
Okay.
Because I haven't gone to kegs yet.
Well,
I need to go to kegs because bottling's a lot of work.
I've never gone to cakes myself, but yeah, you were talking about that the other day, and I've got to dig up my recipe book, and we got to sit down and have a chat about that.
Okay. Well, you need to see everything I have because I have tons of grains and hops and.
Excellent.
I think that would be a cool collaboration to see you guys do something like that. But I feel like Ron had this.
Make a gay beer. He's like,
Get one ready for June.
There you go. There you go. But no, I think Ron had that similar thing. Like when some things just didn't carbonate very well, which I know nothing about it, so I'm not knocking on them. It's just like I think that's maybe a common thing to get that carbonation level just right. Because I remember back when Ron worked at Hastings, there was it was a Mr. Beer.
Mr. Beer kit with like the plastic.
And I mean, this was fucking almost 20 years ago. I remember, I think me and Larry bought that for his brother. And so Eric went to make some just Mr. Beer stuff. And so the bottles were brown bottles, but they were plastic. And about every single one of them he filled swelled out, and so they were shaped more like footballs than beer bottles. And that's he's like, oh man, those were so stout I couldn't drink it. Like nobody could drink it, so he just gave them to his dad. And his dad's like, I think they taste good.
So
he thought they were all right. Like he drank it. He's the only one that could drink it.
Looking back,
none of us were men about our beer back in that day. We were all babies yet.
As I say, back, if you could go back in time and drink one of those, what do you think you'd think now?
I feel like I'd probably better be able to better drink it. And I actually want to ask Eric that. Like, remember those beers you made back in the day? Like, how do you think you would handle those now? More like a man? Like, yeah, I think you could.
More like a man.
Because I know what he drank back in the day versus what he drinks now. And, he and I drink a lot of, we share beers and talk about certain beers that we've tried. And I feel like that he would, be able to drink something that's well more stout than what he did, like, years ago.
Mm.
Like, I didn't even like beer then, so, like, I wouldn't have been able to drink it then, but I feel like now I've been like, yeah, I could drink it regardless of how bad it was. I could, as long as it didn't have an off flavor, and I can drink things that are really stout and actually like them.
Well, that's like that when I was at Disney, I had that was it Einstock or whatever?
Yeah.
The toasted porter that I had at Disney that I thought was absolutely delicious, but I was like, oh, look like you're enjoying that. Let me take a sip. He took a sip and just had the most bitter beer face. He was just like so disgusted he had to walk over to the drinking fountain and drink a bunch of water and then got a Coke.
That's really funny.
By how stout it was. I'm like, dude.
That stuff was good.
Yeah.
I think when you're not used to drinking anything else besides like a typical beer, just all beers are probably going to be fairly off to you.
Yeah.
Before I liked beer, I was told, oh yeah, like I got into beer by drinking Coors. You got to drink something that's really watered down. Coors is pretty much water.
Mm-hmm.
Coors did, there's one that I've seen if there was like a banquet or something special. There was one of those that I've had that was really fucking good for a macro brew. That was by Coors. But it was a special edition. The can looked old time. I do not recall what the fuck it was now, but those actually ended up being pretty damn good.
Couldn't tell you. I don't think I've ever seen or ever heard of it.
It's been maybe pre-pandemic. I don't know.